and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms. And I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back here to the channel on YouTube.com. It is, of course, Saturday, January 22nd, 2022. And this is the official Lightning Flash update for said date. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you coming here on this fine Saturday and joining me to talk some pro wrestling. Even with the shortened intro, my throat is still killing me from all that yelling. Let's check the chat, see who we got. See who we got. We got Earl Cole. Earl Cole is here nice and early. Earl Cole is here nice and early. We got Rob Wells Jr. Adam Carl is here. We got Mr. Peanuts. We also got Lisa Marie. Of course, she is the MJF girl with the Italian and Greek pastry with the coffee. Everyone should have a coffee in terms of Lisa standards. But I hope everyone is doing all right. You're lucky, bro. You're lucky to have one. Unfortunately, I got taken down. But trust me, I'll be back on there sooner rather than later. I'll get it. Don't worry. I'll get it. You're gonna have to tell me how you did it. You're gonna have to tell me how you did it because I'm running out of options here. But regardless of that, this is still the LFU, and we have a lot to discuss. A lot happened in terms of pro wrestling this week. More specifically in terms of news and rumors, and of course, what is happening with AEW, not WWE, of course, because WWE is a humongous pile of elephant shit. So we'll probably just skim through the WWE reviews and go right to AEW Rampage. And I say AEW Rampage because there's no Dynamite review here on the LFU. And the reason why is because one Earl Cole in the chat was so gracious enough to invite me on his channel, and I appeared on his channel on Thursday evening where him and we went over everything that happened on AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday. So if you want my thoughts as well as Earl's thoughts on that, go check out the link. That link is, of course, in the description. He did a fantastic job. I thought it was very well done. The analytics was very good. The video has almost 100 views, so I think it's quite evident that DJ Storms is a draw. Never discredit the drawing power that I have. You little cretins. Nevertheless, I had a fun time. Very, very happy and very, very thankful for Earl Cole for inviting me back on his channel. So if you want to go check out the link to the Wrestling Experience where we discuss Dynamite and a few other news, rumors, and reports. We went over a few other things like polls. We went over the Dynamite or AEW comment of the week. That is in the description if you want my thoughts on Dynamite. We'll just be going over Rampage today. We're not going over NXT because fuck NXT. I do have some NXT news, and trust me, I have a lot to say about what we saw at the end of this past Tuesday's NXT, considering we got a new name change for someone that should have never even been in the conversation to have his name changed. So trust me on that. It is going to be a mega rant, and I know that everyone is looking forward to me ripping that shit apart. But before we get into the news, rumors, and reports, please make sure you follow me on Instagram at the DJ_Storms. That is the DJ_Storms. You can follow me on Instagram, help me gain some more followers there, grow my following there. Please make sure you add me on Facebook as well. That link is also in the description. For collaborations and business inquiries, please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page, I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. And, of course, you can find all of those links in the description of this very stream. How you doing, Mr. Brian King? Very happy to have you back here. Please let me know if my mic is coming in good. Make sure that everyone can hear me because I have a lot of shit to say, as I said at the beginning of the stream. Please make sure, if you haven't already done so, to like the stream. It's vital. It's absolutely vital that you like the stream because I want everyone's got to know DJ Storms is live on YouTube. So please make sure you hit that like button. It helps me out. It helps the channel out. And of course, share out the stream on all platforms of social media. I'm talking about Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, Snapchat, and TikTok, whatever social media platforms that you use. That way, everyone will be notified that DJ Storms is live on YouTube talking about professional wrestling. Get as many views as possible. Talk amongst yourselves. Ask me some questions. Of course, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you have not already done so, and hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube, because whenever I pop up on YouTube, baby, it is the best time to be on YouTube because it's the only time you're going to get to see this gloriously new touched up sideburn shin strap combination, this beautiful mustache, this fantastic new haircut. Yeah, give me 1 second. I know this is Earl Cole's favorite part of the stream, and you know what is coming next because we are about to light it up here on a Saturday with a little bit of and a dash of and a whole lot of because everybody wants a piece of the Stormsmeister. You already know the drill. Be sure to tell everyone that DJ Storms is live on YouTube. And of course, we have the rundown for the WWE Royal Rumble 2022. That is taking place tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And my guest is none other than Earl Cole. Earl Cole is my day one A1. He is always the guy that I call upon when I need someone to help me dissect everything pro wrestling related. Very, very happy to have Earl Cole on my team. Very, very happy that he is a senior administration member of the DJ Storms Posse page. And I'm very, very happy to call him a friend. So check out tomorrow's stream, which is the rundown for the Royal Rumble. Earl Cole will be joining me, and we will be dissecting everything Royal Rumble 2022 related. We got the Royal Rumble next Saturday. I will be taking my notes. Obviously, we're going to do an LFU before the show. And then, of course, we do have the rewind for the Royal Rumble, which will take place on Sunday, January 30th. I am looking for a guest. I will let you know when I have one. And it's going to be a pretty busy WrestleMania season for the DJ Storms brand, I would say. We're going to be doing what we normally do. We're going to be streaming. We're going to be dissecting pro wrestling. We're going to be shitting all over WWE because they absolutely deserve it. And we are going to be praising what Tony Khan is doing with AEW because he is doing some fantastic stuff. But nevertheless, enough of the self-brand promotion and the advertisements. We are going to get straight into the news, rumors, and reports here. I'm going to check the chat after the news, rumors, and reports are done. So please keep the chat alive. Do whatever you need to do and talk amongst yourselves. Have some fun. Tell more people that I'm live on YouTube. Be sure to hit the like button. And we're going to get into the news, rumors, and reports. And we're going to start off with the big one. The big report for this week. Mustafa Ali publicly announced last Sunday on Twitter that he has requested his release from the WWE. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, he reported that Ali wasn't even on a paternity leave. He just asked for one show off for that, and then they just didn't use him. Fightful Select also reported that there was an idea from Vince McMahon for something Mustafa Ali would have never done, and it led to a heated argument between the two parties. Ali hasn't been around since. Ali was also told that he was too polished, too neat, and too nice. Sean Ross Sapp came out with a report days later stating that Ali is not going to be granted his release, and they are just going to wait until his contract runs out. Am I shocked at this? No, absolutely not. There are so many things that I can say about this, but they're all going to be things that you haven't already heard before. Everything that I'm going to say has already been said by someone else, or it's been said in relation to another superstar or various superstars that WWE has mistreated in the past. Doesn't shock me at all. Mustafa Ali has not been pushed because of the simple fact that he does not fit the mold of a WWE superstar in Vince McMahon's eyes. In the deluded world of Vince McMahon, a superstar needs to have big muscles. They need to be 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 250 pounds. They need to look like they need to stand out in an airport. They can't be a Johnny Gargano. They can't be small. They can't be 215 pounds. They can't do flips. They can't do dives. He sees a superstar in fucking Omos, but he doesn't see one in Mustafa Ali. You want to know how deluded Vince McMahon is? There you go. Mustafa Ali, I have been a huge advocate for Mustafa Ali since 2017 and that feud that he had with Drew Gulak on 205 Live. He had a 2 out of 3 falls match with Drew Gulak on 205 Live that went about 20 minutes, and it was a great fucking match. That made me a believer in Mustafa Ali. From that point on, I was the biggest advocate for Mustafa Ali. He was putting on match of the year candidates on 205. He put on a better match than Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar did in the main event of WrestleMania 34. He put on a better match with Buddy Murphy, a.k.a. Buddy Matthews, on 205 Live. I believe it was on the July 4th episode of SmackDown, I believe it was. Might have been the July 3rd episode of 205 Live. Either way, that no DQ match with Buddy Murphy was better than anything that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar did, not just in the main event of WrestleMania 34, but any match that they had that year. From that point on, he was called up to the main roster, and it was just supposed to be a one-off, but apparently he was made into a permanent member of the SmackDown roster. He ended up pinning Daniel Bryan when Bryan was the WWE champion at the time, when Bryan was the planet's champion. That was a great fucking heel run by Daniel Bryan. Side note there. But he ended up pinning Daniel Bryan, and he was supposed to be in the position to fight for the WWE title at WrestleMania. He was supposed to be in the spot that Kofi Kingston was in at WrestleMania 35. Now, I'm not going to sit here and blame WWE for the injury. I'm not going to sit here and blame anyone for Randy Orton stomping out Ali's orbital bone. I am not going to blame anyone for that. I'm not blaming Orton. I'm not blaming Ali. I'm not blaming WWE. Injuries happen. Injuries happen. Plans change. This isn't ballet. This is pro wrestling. So I'm not going to blame anyone for the injury. However, I can absolutely blame WWE for what happened after Mustafa Ali recovered from that injury. Ali was scheduled to win Money in the Bank that year in May. They changed the plans last minute to give the fucking briefcase to Brock Lesnar just to get a rematch with Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam of that year. They fucked over Ali for the same old person that they've been pushing ever since he came back from the UFC. They've been doing the same thing, pushing him for Brock Lesnar and Brock Lesnar only. Ali got fucked out of the Money in the Bank briefcase for Brock Lesnar. Then he was supposed to fight Shinsuke Nakamura at SummerSlam that year for the Intercontinental Championship. And they canceled that match along with a slew of other matches. Then he was taken off of television for 8 months. I'm surprised he didn't leave after that. I'm shocked that it took him this long to say enough is enough. He was taken off of television for 8 months. He came back. He was given the title of the Retribution leader. He was now the leader of Retribution. They tied in the Retribution storyline with the SmackDown Hacker storyline. And everybody thought that it was going to be a career resurgence for Ali, but Retribution was pretty much dead on arrival. No one gave a shit about anything Retribution related. Nobody. Retribution was nothing more than a trash yard version, never mind a dollar store version, a trash yard version of the Nexus. Ali was paired with Retribution. They went nowhere. They went absolutely nowhere. They were nothing more than a modern-day job squad, a lot of people called them. They were nothing more than glorified jobbers with masks. So then, Ali and Retribution, they break up, right? They break up. Then, Ali gets paired with Mansoor. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this actually has great potential. This could be a solid act in the tag team division. What did they do with it? Nothing. All that tag team was yet another way to show everyone what WWE really thinks about Mustafa Ali. Every single time that team lost, it was always Ali that took the pin, never Mansoor. He was losing to Veer, losing to Omos. Then they break up just to give Mansoor his obligatory win at Crown Jewel. He appeared a few more times after the Crown Jewel match with Mansoor, and then he was taken off of television all the way up until where we stand today, when he requested his release a week ago. And that was pretty much Mustafa Ali's career in WWE in a nutshell. I really have run out of words. I have run out of human words, English words, any type of words. I've run out of patience, and I've run out of breath. I really have. I've run out of the breath that I want to expend talking about this. I really have. It's the same shit each and every single time we talk about a superstar like Ali. How many fucking times has WWE shafted someone because of the way that they look, or the fact that they're not the superstar that they want, or the fact that they're Triple H guys? Mustafa Ali wasn't necessarily a Triple H guy. He didn't really spend all too much time in NXT. All he was in was the Cruiserweight Classic. But the main reason why WWE never pushed Ali is simply because of the fact that he is nothing more than a vanilla midget in their terms. I don't even know how else I can put it. It is so unbelievable how delusional Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard really are. And what's worse is people in the community actually agree with Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard. They agree with the absolute, utter, retarded mentality of a 75-year-old man and his 300-pound slob puppet that bounces on his dick every now and again. They had what could have been the next Daniel Bryan in Mustafa Ali, and that's not even an exaggeration. Ali is a pure baby face. There's no reason why Ali shouldn't have even been at least a U.S. or an Intercontinental champion. I don't understand how delusional. I've run out of words. I don't get it. I just don't fucking get it. In a day and age where you need new stars, in a day and age where you've released God knows how many fucking people, 200, 300 fucking people over the last 2-3 years, God knows how many people have left, God knows how many people have been released, in a day and age where your roster is nothing more than skin and bones, and you can't even find a place for Ali on your show? You can't even find a place for Ali on your show out of pure delusion. You can't even find a place for Ali on your show because you are just so stuck in your ways from the 1980s that you refuse to push anyone that is not 6'5", 250 pounds. And then when you finally get someone that's 250 pounds, 6'5", like Karrion Kross, you don't push him because, oh, my son-in-law Triple H created him. We can't have that. And then they wonder why NXT 2.0 isn't attracting any new viewers. And I'm going to talk about that later on. They're not even going to release Ali. Why? Because they know that when Ali leaves, He's going to go to whatever promotion, New Japan, AEW, Impact, MLW, NWA, wherever he goes, he's going to go to whatever promotion that he wants to go to, and he is going to take the world by storm. He's going to take the world by storm, and he is going to prove WWE wrong. He's going to prove them wrong, just like everyone else that has left WWE and gone to another promotion, has made a great name for themselves and proved WWE wrong. They're going to do the same thing with Ali that they did with Brody Lee. They're going to keep him chained and shackled to the WWE contract until his contract is up. And supposedly Ali has years left on his WWE contract. We could be waiting until 2024 for Ali to finally be free. Nothing but pure pettiness. Pure pettiness, and it goes to show you that WWE is run by a bunch of self-centered, delusional suit and ties. Nothing that I haven't already said. Nothing that I just said here is anything new to anyone. Nothing. It's quite sad. It really is. I'm really getting sick and tired of dealing with the same shit over and over again. I really am. And then people wonder why MLW is suing WWE. I don't think it's going to be anything. I don't think they're going to win. It's not going to result in anything. I mean, if Vince McMahon made it out of the Owen Hart case unscathed, then nothing's going on with this MLW suit towards WWE. Nothing. But Mustafa Ali, yet another individual who was shafted and treated like shit simply because of the fact that he is not a carbon copy of Hulk Hogan. He's not a carbon copy of Hulk Hogan. Simple as that. He's not 250 pounds with 24-inch pythons that's going to run wild on you. That's it. That's it. I feel bad for him. I really do. I feel bad for him. And a man can only take so much. Man can only take so much. I wish the best for Mustafa Ali. I hope to God he's able to get out of his contract some way, somehow. I really do. I hope that he's able to get out of his contract some way, somehow. And when he does, I wish him the best. I really do. But it's quite pathetic. It really is. It's quite pathetic that time and time again, WWE just constantly overlooks talent and they constantly push talent to the side, all because they are too small in their eyes. As if size fucking means anything in professional wrestling nowadays. We're in 2022, not 1984. Moving on. And this shit pissed me off. This next story pissed me off too. WWE made a statement in an article stating they don't believe AEW is competition. Yeah, sure. And they put forth gory self-mutilation when it comes to the competitors, says the WWE. I'm going to have a field day with this one. The statement read, and I quote, "If you look at the gory self-mutilation that bloodied several women in the December 31st event on TNT, it quickly becomes clear that these are very different businesses. We had an edgier product in the Attitude Era, and in the 2022 world, we don't believe that the type of dangerous brutality display is appealing to network partners, sponsors, venues, children, or the general public as a whole," says the WWE. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that AEW is actually doing women's wrestling right, and you are doing women's wrestling as if it's fucking Playboy. Don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who find Playboy infatuating, but at the end of the day, this isn't Playboy, this is professional wrestling. Oh, we don't see AEW as competition because of gory self-mutilation. Really? You don't see AEW as competition? Then how come you constantly talk about them? How come whenever shit like this gets brought up, how come you do everything in your power to try and keep them down? People always tell me, oh, AEW takes a shot at WWE. AEW takes a petty shot at WWE in a promo here or there on Dynamite, but I don't think I've ever seen AEW purposely try and book their show to counter-program a WWE show, nor do they go on record and say anything false about WWE. What has WWE said that's even remotely true? How is this even accurate? WWE has all of these sponsors and networks, and they have all of this type of shit that's making them all this money. Yeah, but that doesn't excuse the fact that your product sucks. There's no reason why you can't have all these networks and sponsors and all these partners and venues to work with, and you can put on a serious product. AEW doesn't do shit like this every fucking week. They're not fucking CZW. They're not ECW. They never do shit like this on a nightly basis. They do this once every few months. The last time we saw something like what we got in the women's match was July, in that No Rules match with Jericho and Nick Gage. After that, we didn't see it until December. So what was that? 2-3 times a year that we saw something like that? And then before the Nick Gage-Chris Jericho match, the last one that we saw was Baker and Thunder Rosa in March. How far apart is that? Man, I didn't know doing 3 matches like that a year is worth complaining about. I'm not sure how doing 3 matches a year is equivalent to gory and self-mutilation, as if this is a weekly fucking thing. And you know what I loved about this? You know what I really loved about this? Number one, obviously the fact that WWE is coming off as they are scared of AEW. They're trying to downplay AEW and brainwash the general public because they are scared. They know that AEW is riding up their ass. AEW just beat Monday Night Raw in the 18 to 49 demographic this past week. That's the demo where the most money's made. And they won, did AEW. And pretty soon, if AEW continues trending upwards like they are right now, they're going to be beating Monday Night Raw in the overall ratings. They're pulling in 1 million viewers consistently now. Monday Night Raw continues to go down. They continue to go down. AEW continues to go up. That's another thing. That's one thing that I loved about this. Goes to show you that WWE is scared because AEW is right on their tail. Number 2, I loved looking on Twitter and I saw so many people calling out WWE for their hypocrisy. And it just warms my fucking heart. I saw people talking about how Randy Orton and Roman Reigns got their skulls busted open by Brock Lesnar. I saw people talking about when Randy Orton put a screwdriver through Jeff Hardy's ear and started twisting the damn screwdriver. I remember seeing WWE getting called out for the fact that what else did they do? They did plenty of more shit like that. I remember when, what else? They did plenty more shit like that. I know I'm forgetting some shit. The Randy Orton incident, the 2 Brock Lesnar incidents. I remember so much shit like that. What about Cesaro when he got busted open during his match with Seth Rollins on SmackDown? Did they censor it out? Did they stop the match? No, they kept the fucking match going. They kept the fucking match going. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable how hypocritical WWE really is. Gory and self-mutilation. Really? So you're telling me that that's not women's wrestling? Then what is women's wrestling? Oh, wait a minute. That's right. Your version of women's wrestling is skanky clothing. Your version of women's wrestling is 3-second matches. Your version of women's wrestling is nothing more than an afterthought. That's your version of women's wrestling. You want to condition everyone to think that women's wrestling is nothing more than skanky clothing, tits, big ass, people that look like they're coming out of Victoria's Secret. That's your version of women's wrestling. I'm sorry, that's not women's wrestling. This match was an end to a long feud that went on for months between Anna Jay, Ty Conti, Penelope Ford, and the Bunny. Women's wrestling in WWE is non-existent. On top of that, are we just going to ignore the fact that week after week, WWE not only embarrasses their women, but they embarrass their talent? period, men and women on a weekly basis. Look what happened with Sami Zayn last night on SmackDown. He got embarrassed, and he's been getting embarrassed by Johnny Knoxville. Meanwhile, this guy's supposed to be the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. Oh, but AEW's taking shots at WWE. But what has AEW said that's false? What has AEW said that's false? WWE and their product sucks raccoon dick. It sucks possum cock. What exactly is good about the WWE product? If you're going to try and tell me there's anything good about the WWE product outside of RK Bro and Roman Reigns, you are absolutely lying to me, and you should not be talking about professional wrestling whatsoever. I don't want to fucking hear you. The WWE product is not good. Stop trying to justify shit that is not good. AEW is the better product. They're not perfect, but they are the better product. And when they take a shot at WWE verbally on their show, it is justified. And for those of you who are going to say, oh, we're sick of it. No, you're not. You are just sick of hearing the truth. You're not sick of AEW taking a shot at WWE. You're sick of hearing the truth. You just don't like to hear the truth. WWE and their product sucks. And this statement from WWE only further validates that. This statement from WWE only further validates how delusional they really are. They are not the kings of the block anymore. AEW has taken that crown from them, put it on top of their heads, and made them peasants. WWE are the peasants now compared to AEW, and that's a stone cold fact. You don't like it? Suck my dick. Moving on, we got Sean Ross Sapp confirming that TNT champion Cody Rhodes is working as a free agent, and he has not renewed his contract. Everyone has made a big deal out of it about how he could be going back to WWE, which, by the way, is not the fucking case. He had to fly home for COVID-related reasons. He was probably going to sign a new contract when he came into Dynamite that week, but unfortunately, he had to go home because of a COVID protocol. And now Cody Rhodes has probably made this into a storyline. Cody Rhodes has now made this into a storyline, and he has furthered his character development. He has furthered his heel turn. This is nothing more than a work. Yeah, he's working without a contract, but this entire thing about Cody potentially going back to the WWE, it's nothing more than a work. It's Cody doing what Cody Rhodes does. It's Cody being the manipulator, being the master of puppets, and working everyone, because that's how good Cody Rhodes is. Stop being fucking stupid. Cody's not going back. He's not. I got a report on Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston, according to Dave Meltzer, is sidelined with a fractured orbital bone and will be out of action for what he hopes is around 3 weeks. The Wrestling Observer newsletter and Dave Meltzer also reported that Ray Phoenix is actually expected to be back around the same time that Kingston is supposed to be back. Both of those men are expected to be back by mid-February, which, by the way, I am very happy to hear. Ray Phoenix, he is in a very good position, and I'm glad that he did not break a bone, and he should be back by mid-February. I hope to see the Lucha Bros in Jurassic Express Part 3, and we get one more match between the two, and Jurassic Express retain the titles again. As far as Eddie Kingston goes, I really do hope that this fractured orbital bone is not very serious, because I really do want Eddie Kingston to be back on television, because by the looks of things, he was scheduled for a match against Chris Jericho at Revolution. And now we could still get that, but I don't know. We'll have to see when he comes back, but they could absolutely do Jericho and Kingston at Revolution for sure. So I wish Eddie Kingston the best in his recovery. I also wish Ray Phoenix the best in his recovery as well. Fightful. Fightful reported that WWE recently trademarked the name Gunther Stark. WWE, they had to be unaware of the fact that Gunther Stark was actually a real-life individual who was a commander of a Nazi submarine back during World War II. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they're just that tone deaf. But either way, they trademarked the name Gunther Stark before abandoning it after the fan backlash. Walter beat Roderick Strong on NXT this past Tuesday in a great fucking match, by the way. Probably the best match in WWE across all 3 shows all week. Great fucking match. Afterwards, Walter came out with the mic and he said, "The winner of this match is Gunther." This name was then changed. His name on WWE.com and his superstar profile was changed to Gunther. According to WWE, according to Fightful, WWE decided to abandon Gunther Stark, but they have also had Walter trademarked since 2009. So let me get this straight. You abandoned Gunther Stark. You kept him as Gunther, but you have had Walter trademarked since 2019. I was under the impression that they just changed his name for the simple fact that Walter had his name already trademarked, and they were going off of that, and they needed to come up with a new name because if Walter was to leave, he would have used the name Walter on the independent scene. But now I find out that they have Walter trademarked since 2019. Why? Oh, wait a minute. It's because for the last 3 years, Triple H was booking Walter. It's because of the last 3 years, Triple H made Walter into the superstar that you see him now. Triple H took Walter and gave him nearly 900 days. 900 days as WWE NXT United Kingdom Champion. 900 days. You gave this man as champion. Triple H had him putting on classics with Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, Ilya Dragunov and Joe Coffey and A-Kid. And what did you do? You took Walter, a guy that was picture perfect, a guy that you could look at and say, you know what? This is the guy that we can make the face of the brand. He has everything that you would want, and he fits the mold that Vince McMahon is looking for, just like Karrion Kross. What's going on over here? There we go. My camera cover was sliding over to the side. Walter fits the mold that Vince McMahon wants in a superstar, right? Walter has everything that you could ask for. He can speak perfect English. He can wrestle like his life fucking depends on it. He has a great gimmick along with Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner. He has a great presence. He has a fantastic look. I don't understand why. I don't. Why do we need to change? Why? Just because you are that petty towards your son-in-law? You are that petty towards Triple H that you need to take a guy who pretty much fits every single thing that you want. He checks off all the boxes that you want in a WWE superstar. And similar to Karrion Kross, you need to change his name and change something about him just because he was associated with your son-in-law? Are you out of your fucking mind? It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. What pisses me off even more, I don't understand how no one speaks up. I really don't understand how no one in WWE speaks the fuck up. I'm not saying that shit's absolutely going to change, but at least speak the fuck up and attempt to make a difference. What are they going to do? Fire you right there on the spot? No one's going to get fired on the spot for arguing your case. Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard are not God. They need to stop being treated like it. Stop being afraid to speak up. I don't even believe that Walter would even allow this to happen. I don't even believe that Walter would be okay with this. This absolutely boggles my mind in more ways than one. I honestly don't believe, I really don't. I do not believe that shit like this, I don't believe that shit like this is a real legitimate thing. I am so sick and fucking tired of seeing all of this great talent come into the WWE and have their careers ruined because of sheer delusion and stupidity, or pettiness, or envious, or something, political reasons, whatever it may be. Some shit, some outside shit that has nothing to do with their professional wrestling career. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I absolutely cannot stand the fact that every single time we have something great, every single time we have something great, every single time we have something that is must-see, every single time that we have something that we can invest in, something that could very well be the next big thing, something that could very well be the biggest talking point in the entire wrestling world altogether. I'm sick and tired of every single time we get something of substance, something that has the potential to blow up and give us memories as a wrestling fan for years to come. I'm sick and tired of seeing shit like this happen and seeing them have their careers ruined because a deluded old man and a 400-pound gorilla need to place their own stamp on it. Walter's career is dead. If this is going to be a permanent thing, if Gunther is going to be real, I am telling you right now, his career is dead. You are never going to get anywhere with the name Gunther. Walter right now with that name is no better than Doudrop, and I can't even believe that I'm saying that. Piper Niven's a very good wrestler, but she's never going to get over with that name. Never. She's never going to get over with that shit name. What the fuck does it even mean? Walter is never going to get over with the name Gunther. Walter is never going to find any success with the name Gunther. And Walter is nothing more than just another man, another individual who was pushed to the moon by Triple H, ultimately to be squandered by Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard because they don't know how to push WWE superstars. It's sad. I don't even know what else to say. I really don't. I don't know what else to say. It's like I'm reading nothing more than it's like I'm reading a eulogy to him. It's like I'm reading a fucking eulogy to Walter. Every other fucking report is nothing more than another story about how WWE is just absolute shit. So, moving on, we go to a report from Cultaholic, and I was graciously sent this by Earl Cole. Earl Cole has been my eyes and ears throughout everything in the wrestling community. Earl Cole, he sent me these last two reports before we get into the weekly show reviews. According to Cultaholic, WWE is using Finn Balor to help get over younger talent, and Vince McMahon also reportedly only views Balor as a mid-card talent, and the WWE chairman never saw the former Universal Champion as a top star. End quote. Does it shock me? No. Finn Balor should have been the WWE Champion multiple times over already, but no, he's too small. Ah, vanilla midget. Oh, he's not 6'5". Oh, he's barely 200 pounds. Unfucking believable. It is unbelievable. I can't stand it. I think, what's going on over here? Generic playback error. Even the fucking Peacock playing in the background. Do your job, Peacock. Do your fucking job, Peacock. I'm live here. I'm live here on fucking YouTube. I can't even fucking control this shit. Well, come on. Royal Rumble 2020. Play the fucking stream. I understand. Trust me, I understand. I'm loud. I'm causing a technical difficulty. But you gotta understand that Finn Balor, he should be WWE champion, but he's being held down by Vince McMahon. Play. Thank you. Resume. Where was I? Finn Balor. Another guy who could easily be the face of the company. Just like Ali, just like a Walter, Keith Lee. Easily be the face of the company. WWE doesn't even know what they have. They don't even know what they have. Unfucking believable. Play. Don't give me this network era bullshit. Play. Do we need to put on a different Royal Rumble? I'll put on a different Rumble. I'll put on the 2019 Royal Rumble. There you go. You gonna play? Thank you. WWE doesn't even know the talent that they have. They don't even know how good the talent like Balor and a Walter and a Keith Lee, a Karrion Kross, they don't even know how good the talent that they have on their roster even is. They don't. It is so fucking frustrating seeing all of these great men and women. So frustrating seeing all of these great men and women constantly shafted, overlooked, mistreated, their gimmicks and their names and their wrestling ability tinkered with. It is unbelievable seeing all of this shit play out. It's like I'm watching the deterioration of a company. It is. We are legitimately watching the deterioration of a company. Finn Balor should easily be at the top of the card, hands down. Finn Balor was taken by Triple H into NXT. They rejuvenated Finn Balor's career. Finn Balor gets called up to the main roster within 4 months. 4 months. It took him 4 months. And he's right back to where he was before. When is Finn Balor's contract? I'd love to know. Finn Balor, I know he doesn't have too many years left on his wrestling career, or maybe he does. Maybe he does. He's in great fucking shape. He doesn't seem like he's slowing down at all. How old is he? 40? He could be wrestling for another decade, for all we know. That's how good he is. If Finn Balor goes to AEW, I'd absolutely love to see that. I'd absolutely love to see that. I think that Finn Balor would favor great in AEW. I'd love to see him in there with Omega and Adam Cole and Keith Lee when he comes in. I'd love to see him in there with Adam Page, Bryan Danielson, and Moxley. I'd love it. I'd absolutely love that. Balor deserves a hell of a lot better. There's really nothing more I can say, and there's really nothing that I can say that I haven't already said. Same thing goes for the next report. The next report, again, was sent to me by Earl Cole. Thank you to Earl Cole. Andrew Zarian reported that WWE has blamed the failure of NXT 2.0 on the abrupt change. The change definitely has something to do with it, but it's not because the change was abrupt. It was the fact that you changed it, period. A report noted that many within WWE were surprised that NXT superstars have failed to catch on with the fans. Oh, wait a minute. Are you telling me? Wait a minute. Are you telling me that this could mean that Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon were wrong? Wow! What a concept! How long have I been saying that for? Hey, Peacock! Let me ask Peacock. Hey, Peacock, since you're not buffering anymore, how long have I been saying that Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard's methods are not working? Am I supposed to be shocked by this? Report noted that WWE's were surprised that the superstars have failed to catch on. Internal sources say that WWE believed that the new characters would bring in new viewers, but they haven't. And now they're blaming it on the abrupt change. Oh, we just need to wait it out. They just need to establish themselves more. We're just going to stick with the concept. You know why it's failing? It's because you changed it, period. Why are AEW's ratings remaining consistent, but yet Monday Night Raw is going down? Because of Vince and Bruce. Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard's tactics do not work anymore. And I don't want to hear any fucking peep out of anyone that tries to spew me the bullshit. Oh, Triple H is nothing more than the new Vince McMahon. No, he's not. Are you telling me that shit that went down in NXT from 2015 to 2019 and early 2020? You're telling me that that was the same thing as what Vince was doing on Raw and SmackDown? If you're going to try and tell me that, you are mind-numbingly retarded, and I have absolutely no problem walking right up to you and saying right to your face, you are retarded. No shit, NXT 2.0 is failing. You know why? It's because of Bruce and Vince. It's because of the simple fact that the tactics and the creative writing and booking of Bruce Pritchard and Vincent Kennedy McMahon do not work anymore. Is it really that hard to understand? Is this going to be a wake-up call to Vince and Bruce? I doubt it. Oh, no, we can't do anything wrong. We're just going to hang on. We're just going to wait it out. Who are they going to blame next? Shawn Michaels? I would not be shocked to see Shawn Michaels fired. I would not be shocked to see Triple H as the only one left. Who are you going to blame in another year when the ratings are still in the exact same positions that they were in right now? Who are you going to blame in January of 2023 when NXT 2.0 still has failed to generate over 650,000 viewers? Who are you going to blame? Rampage does better than NXT some weeks in a shitty time slot on a Friday night right after SmackDown. But no. It's the abruptness of change. The abruptness of change. Oh, the new characters, they haven't established themselves yet. Bullshit. NXT 2.0 sucks balls. It sucks donkey balls. Large, fat, hairy donkey balls. That's NXT 2.0. Picture a donkey. When a donkey falls over on its side and you see those gigantic, hairy donkey nuts, that's NXT 2.0. That's NXT 2.0. It's a horrific sight to look at. I cannot wait. I can't wait for another year and NXT continues to fail. Cannot wait. Can't wait. NXT is going to continue to fail. I'm going to sit here and laugh. I'm going to sit here and tell you, yeah, Triple H should have taken over the WWE, and Triple H was never wrong. Triple H did everything right, and Vince McMahon continues to bury everything that his son-in-law did because of the simple fact that Vince McMahon is delusional and thinks he's God. Cannot wait for another year and NXT 2.0 continues to fail. I'd be shocked if NXT is still on the USA Network after this current deal with the USA Network is up. I would be shocked if it's not right back on Peacock. Those are your news, rumors, and reports. Those are your news, rumors, and reports. We're going to go over 4 weekly shows. I appreciate all of you joining me here on the LFU here on a Saturday. Thank you to Dee Dee. Thank you to Hula Grim. I greatly appreciate you stopping by. You are fantastic. Thank you, Dylan Catcham and Adam Carl. Thank you to Earl Cole for sending me those reports. Thank you to Lisa Marie. Lisa Marie's got a big year ahead of her, including a special project she's working on, hoping to get the attention of MJF. But we'll save that. I hope that everyone's doing all right. Greatly appreciate you choosing me here on your Saturday afternoons to talk pro wrestling, as I am the best in the world. Let's talk about the weekly show reviews. We're going to talk about 4 weekly shows. Let's talk about Raw, even though I don't want to. Raw continues to be terrible. Show sucks. The show is unwatchable. The only reason I'm watching it is because of the fact that I have this show. So there's a small part of me that just wants to end this. There's a small part of me that just wants to stop. To stop doing the whole DJ Storms thing, just so I don't have to watch Monday Night Raw anymore. I cannot stand it. I can't. Becky Lynch kicked off the show. She was welcoming everyone to Monday Night Raw, to the big time. She was talking about past generations coming back. Women from past generations, because the women's division is at its hottest. No, it's not. She said, "You weren't clamoring to see Doudrop in a title match. I make superstars better, and then I beat them." A Doudrop is never going to be champion. She called her Doo-Doo, as if you couldn't embarrass this poor woman anymore. Doudrop came out and she said, "Let me tell you something, you didn't get me anything. If it was really your plan, it was the biggest mistake you've ever made. Stay out of my way tonight." So Bianca came out. She was going on and on, doing her typical EST shit. Liv Morgan then came out. Bianca and Liv Morgan entered themselves into the Rumble, and we get this tag team match. Boring. I was pretty much Doudrop right in that segment. Doudrop going, boring. Doudrop and Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan. This went 3 minutes. Even with one of their golden children in Becky Lynch, a match in the women's division can't even get 3 minutes. Terrible. Doudrop, I swear to God, she is wrestling more and more like Nia Jax every fucking week. I don't know what is going on, but she does not look good when she wrestles. I don't know what they're doing to her, but it's reminding me of what WWE did to Keith Lee. It honestly is. Doudrop splashed Becky Lynch when she covered Liv. She tagged herself in, and then she splashed Morgan with a bonsai drop, and then she gave a bonsai drop to Becky as well. Fucking terrible. 3 minutes. Who cares? Kevin Owens came out for the Kevin Owens show with Seth Rollins. He introduced Seth Rollins. Owens then says he admires Rollins. He admires his drip. He admires his courage. He promised that he was going to win the Rumble. Rollins told everyone that Roman Reigns was a little scared. He took shots at my family, but the Usos couldn't get the job done. Roman plays checkers while Seth Rollins plays chess. I'm bringing the Universal title to Monday Night Raw. Owens says he's officially entering himself as a participant in the Royal Rumble match, and we are going to give the WWE Universe the biggest match of all time at WrestleMania. Seth freaking Rollins against Kevin freaking Owens. Damian Priest came out. Priest told Rollins to shut his mouth, and he called Owens and Rollins delusional idiots. Damian Priest spit truth bombs as he said, "There's not one person that believes you're beating Roman." Right you are, Mr. Priest. No one believes he's beating Roman, nor should he beat Roman. And then he goes to Kevin. He says, "No one believes you're winning the Rumble. And if you don't want to see the Damian in me, I suggest you don't wake him up. I spoke to Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce, and our match starts right now." This was a very good match. Probably the best match of the entire show, and the only thing that I would suggest everyone go back and watch. This match between Damian Priest and Kevin Owens was very good. The ending sucked, and we'll talk about that, but the match itself was very good. So Owens was trying to play nice with Priest. Owens hit a super kick to Priest. Priest was out on the floor. Owens with a big frog splash off the apron to Priest. Coming back from commercial, Priest mounted a comeback with some quick strikes and a flapjack, a corner splash, and a broken arrow for 2. Both men were on the top rope. Owens sent Priest down. Owens delivered a beautiful swanton bomb to Damian Priest. That got a 2 count. We had a pop-up power bomb on Damian Priest. That got a 2. Priest hit South of Heaven. Owens kicked out. Owens looked like he had a leg injury. The ref went over to check on him, and Owens was faking Damian Priest out. He hit him with the stunner, and he pinned Damian Priest for the 1-2-3 win. Damian Priest loses his first non-title match as the United States champion. I love how people are trying to justify this. Oh, you know, they had Kevin Owens pin Damian Priest because Owens is going to be the next in line to challenge Priest. I'm not sure if you realize this. But there's no reason why Priest needed to lose. I don't give a shit if Kevin Owens needed a win. I'm not sure if you are aware of this, but Damian Priest has been doing open challenges for the United States Championship ever since he won the damn title. Defending it against Jeff Hardy and Sheamus, Sami Zayn, Apollo Crews, Robert Roode, Dolph Ziggler. And all of those individuals virtually did nothing to earn a championship match. Why is it that Damian Priest couldn't have just said, "Hey, I'm issuing a US Open challenge," and Owens accepts? That way you could have given Priest the win. You would have gotten to the title match between the two, and we would have gotten Priest remaining undefeated and protected as the champion. There's no reason why Owens should have beaten Priest if you are going to give us the same match again next week for the US title. Priest should not have been losing. You gave everyone else a title match for doing virtually nothing. You could have done the same thing with Owens. You didn't have to have him pin the United States champion. Fucking shitty ending. Very good match, though. Probably the best thing on the show. The Alpha Academy came out for Otis's graduation. They were wearing robes. They had their titles. Gable welcomed everyone to the graduation and talked about graduating with a master's degree and a 4.0 GPA. A thank you. I love what Chad Gable is doing. The cockiness of Chad Gable is great. He reminds me of a young Kurt Angle when Kurt Angle first came to the WWE. I love what Chad Gable is doing. I really do. I love the way that Gable carries himself and the way that he was saying, "Oh, thank you," during this speech. Really entertaining shit. I'm going to start using that shit. Every single time I say something smart, I'm going to start saying, "Oh, thank you." Really good stuff here from Gable, I got to say. So, Riddle came out. He was wearing a robe and a cap. Corey Graves says that he looked like the Statue of Liberty. He said he prepared a special speech. So we went on and on about how just last week him and Randy were the Raw Tag Team Champions. Yada, yada, yada. All this other bullshit. So Gable stopped him. Gable stopped him. And we had Chad Gable then challenging Riddle. And Gable said, we're going to give you and Randy your rematch if you can beat us in an Alpha Academy academic challenge. So Riddle goes, what, like Billy Madison or Wheel of Fortune? Otis then got pissed. He was going to go after Riddle. Orton came up from behind Gable. He gave him the RKO. Orton and Riddle dressed up in the cap and gowns. The crowd was chanting for Randy. Randy then goes, we accept. Listen, the promo work was fine. The promo work was fine. The promo work was very good. But I cannot get behind. I cannot get behind a feud that's supposed to be taken seriously. A feud that's supposed to be for the tag team championships when you're pretty much giving us a carbon copy of the Team Hell No anger management graduation a decade ago. I didn't ask for a trip down memory lane with Team Hell No. I want a serious, built-up feud between two teams who are very good in the ring for the tag team titles. I do not want to hear any of this bullshit regarding graduation or fucking academic decathlons. Give me serious competition. Speaking of competition, a match that should have actually been competitive but wasn't. Austin Theory and Finn Balor. This match didn't even go 7 minutes. Austin Theory, I almost said Austin Aries. Austin Theory wins with the ATL. Nothing special at all. And then he beat down Balor and gave him another ATL. Further proving that Finn Balor is nothing but an irrelevant scrub on Monday Night Raw. Rhea Ripley and Nikki Trash. I don't understand why Queen Zelina and Carmella had to come out before the match started. Zelina said, Rhea, I'm your fairy godmother. If you're my fairy godmother, can you please make Bruce Pritchard disappear so that way we can get a good show? If you do that, then I will never shit on you again, Zelina Vega. Can you be my fairy fucking godmother? Can you make Bruce Pritchard disappear? If you do, I will praise your wrestling ability even though you suck dick in the ring. Nikki Trash still wearing the superhero outfit. Who gives a shit? He's still wearing the superhero outfit. And she attacked Rhea Ripley from behind. Unless this is resulting in Rhea Ripley winning the Rumble and then challenging Becky at WrestleMania, I really don't give a shit. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit. Omos, a.k.a. Great Khali, a.k.a. Black Giant Gonzalez, Omos. Raw! Omos. Raw! So that's all I see from this guy. That's the best thing he can do. Wow! So, Omos, he took on Reggie. The 24/7 title job squad, they came out. Reggie and Dana, they got out of Dodge before the bell rang. Omos, he then caught Reggie, gave him the Kali bomb, and he won the match. If I can make myself laugh, I'm telling you. Let me tell you something, man. I did not think anything of Omos at the start of this year. I didn't think that there was a real possibility that he could win the Royal Rumble, but holy shit. It could very well be a real possibility. I'm genuinely concerned. I'm genuinely frightened that Omos could very well win the Royal Rumble. God help us all. Have mercy on our souls. Have mercy on our souls if the Royal Rumble fucking ends with Raw! Maryse. She came out and she wanted Beth Phoenix to come out and face her face-to-face as Lisa is getting a little explicit in the chat talking about MJF. Listen, if you want to be, you could talk explicit all you want in private, but I don't know. Don't get too thirsty here, all right? So Maryse came out. She wanted Beth Phoenix to come out face-to-face. She goes, my husband has a big mouth, so I need to clean up his mess. Please come out. We have to talk. So Beth came out with Edge, and Maryse said, the match needs to be canceled. I don't want it. You don't want it. They don't want it. Man, I didn't think I'd ever agree with Maryse. Maryse is correct. I don't fucking want it. I never fucking asked for it. The match is a waste of time. The feud should have ended at day one. Matter of fact, it should have never even been a thing. So Maryse is correct. I don't want it. I'm pretty sure Maryse doesn't want it either. Maryse finally says something intelligent. As Lisa continues to say that MJF can get it, what we had here was Maryse going on about how the match should be canceled. Beth then went on about how Maryse should take acting lessons from her husband. Beth did not call off the match. She went down to the ring. She was going to glam slam her. Miz then came out. He attacked Edge. Edge fought back, and then Maryse hit Beth Phoenix with her purse, which resulted in Miz and Maryse standing tall, and it was revealed that there was a brick in her purse. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? I do give a shit. I don't give a shit. You give a shit? I'm pretty sure you don't give a shit. Dirty Dogs, Apollo Crews, and Commander Aziz versus Street Profits and the Mysterios. Street Profits win with the cash out. Who cares? We had an awesome promo package hyping up Brock Lesnar and Bob Lashley. So I think that those two are absolutely going to steal the show at the Rumble if they are given the proper time to. We had another Alexa Bliss therapy session. She was still with the Fiend gimmick. The therapist was working on association exercise. He said trust, friendship, and doll. And Alexa said Lily for all of them. The therapist then left. And Alexa Bliss did not break anything this time. So I'm not sure what that means, but I pray to whatever God exists that this is going to inevitably result in Alexa Bliss going back to the goddess gimmick, even though I don't want her to. I would much rather go straight to the fucking unemployment line, but if this means that Alexa Bliss is going to go right back to being the goddess, I don't have an issue with that at all. Now, she didn't break anything. Could that mean that she is starting to get better, that she is starting to progress, and she's going to ditch this Fiend gimmick? Maybe. I'd like to hope so, but I don't know. Bob Lashley versus Seth Rollins. I will not call him Seth freaking Rollins because that is just corny as shit. So, the match itself, really nothing to it. We got a disqualification because Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, forgot the fucking guy's name. That just goes to show you how meaningless he really is. And that's kind of pathetic, but we had the Hurt Business, Cedric and Shelton coming out, and they attacked Bobby Lashley. Lashley then took care of them, double suplex, and then he destroyed them and speared Shelton through the barricade before the Usos came out, through the crowd, hit a double super kick to Rollins, and they... Typical bullshit. Nothing we haven't seen before. I don't give a shit. I'm pretty sure none of you give a shit. Monday Night Raw is the drizzling shits, and I did not have fun watching this at all. Matter of fact, I wish I didn't have to watch it, but I have to rant and rave for your entertainment. I have to rant and rave so you guys will be entertained on a Saturday. That was Monday Night Raw. Let's check the chat. No shit, Lisa. No shit. No shit, Lisa. We are an hour and 15 into the chat. We got 3 more shows to go over. A rather quick LFU this week. And then I'm going to go home, relax. I'm going to have fun relaxing. And then I am going straight to the dinner table. And I hope to have a nice succulent plate of food. I do not know what I have in store for food, but I'm very much looking forward to dinner tonight. I love to eat. I should really be 200 pounds, but I'm not. I got me some fast metabolism. I'm lean. Thank you guys for stopping by. We're going to go over NXT UK. If you guys aren't watching NXT UK, I would highly encourage you to watch NXT UK. NXT UK was a pretty decent show this week, headlined by a great main event with Noam Dar and A-Kid. Really, really, really great main event with Noam Dar and A-Kid. I highly encourage you to go back and watch it. The show kicked off with Pretty Deadly, who I am a big fan of. I'm a big fan of Pretty Deadly. Sam Stoker and Lewis Howley, they have a very regal presence about them. They play their roles very, very well. So Pretty Deadly, they took on Sam Gradwell and a partner of his choosing, and he chose Saxon Huxley. He chose Saxon Huxley as his partner. Huxley was working well in the ring. Oddly enough, I don't know what it is, but oddly enough, I actually like the pairing of Sam Gradwell and Saxon Huxley. I don't know what it is, but they almost give me an RK Bro, Joe Gacy, Harland type of vibe. I don't know what it is, but in a weird wrestling sort of way, it works. Don't know what it is, but it works. It works. So Pretty Deadly took over. Huxley was isolated before he got the tag to Sam Gradwell. He lit up both men with a big butterfly suplex and uppercut by Stoker. Kenny Williams then came out of nowhere. He took out Saxon Huxley, and then he stared at Sam Gradwell and waved like, hey, look what I just did. And Sam Gradwell ended up catching a spilt milk, and Pretty Deadly get the win. Decent little match right here. I like the pairing of Saxon Huxley and Sam Gradwell. I actually think that it could work out well. And I do believe that we could be on the verge of a Pretty Deadly Mustache Mountain rematch. We could probably get that after Mustache Mountain gets done with whoever wins the number 1 contenders tournament. We'll see what happens there. Either way, I do approve of what we got over here. Pretty Deadly's great. Can you imagine them on the main roster, though? Imagine them on the main roster. All you need to do, if Pretty Deadly were on the main roster, all you need to do is take out the PRE and replace it with SHI. They'd be Shitty Deadly on the main roster. No boy. Shitty Deadly. Next week, we got a big 6-man tag. It's Di Familia versus Gallus. I like it. I'm loving me some Di Familia. They got a great presence to them. Isla Dawn took on Amelia McKenzie. Really nothing of substance. Isla Dawn gets the win with a side slam, and that's pretty much it. I'm guessing we're probably going to get Isla Dawn versus maybe Mako Satomura for the NXT UK Women's Championship. I think that should be great. Next week, we also got Ilya Dragunov. My man Ilya Dragunov versus Jordan Devlin for the NXT United Kingdom Championship in an empty arena match. I'm not really sure what this is going to result in, but to me, it seems a little early for Ilya Dragunov to lose the championship. I'm going with Ilya to retain. I think that he should actually hold the championship a little bit longer, but if Jordan Devlin loses, who is going to inevitably take that title from him? I don't know. The main event. We got Noam Dar versus A-Kid. This is for the NXT UK Heritage Cup Championship. And this was a great match. I actually thought that this was probably the best Noam Dar match that I have seen in quite some time. I thought that Noam Dar and A-Kid worked very well together. Really, really, really good stuff by these two men. If you guys didn't watch it, you should go out and watch it. And let me tell you something. These Heritage Cup matches with the 6 rounds, the 2 out of 3 fall stipulation, these Heritage Cup matches aren't really all that good. I hate these types of matches because of the stop and the start. It's like MMA. I'm going to tell you right now, MMA sucks. MMA sucks. MMA is terrible. MMA is terrible. It's boring. There's no excitement. UFC is terrible. Stop and the start and the stop and the start. Too much bullshit. Too much stop and start. It's not good. This honestly reminds me of MMA. But the match itself with Noam Dar and A-Kid, they made the most with what they were given. Really good stuff right here with Noam Dar and A-Kid. A-Kid's great. A-Kid's awesome. Seriously. So we had no score in the first round. Tempered started to flare. A-Kid mocked Dar. They went into the second round. Still no score. Dar with the Nova Roller in the third round. And he scored the pinfall. A-Kid took over with a nice Pele kick. A-Kid missed the dive, and he crashed hard. A-Kid then beat the count into the ring. He hit a back elbow. Did Noam Dar, but A-Kid kicked out. A-Kid with a beautiful moonsault DDT, and A-Kid ties up the score. So we go into the 5th round. Really, 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 really good stuff right here. A-Kid with a moonsault avalanche slam for a really close 2 count. A-Kid and Dar, they traded submission holds back and forth. Really nice sequences by both men. Really nice sequences. And this ended with A-Kid hitting a flying super kick. Dar just kicked out. More back and forth counters. The Uma Plata was locked in. Dar did not tap. So in the 6th round, Dar and A-Kid ended up tying. And in the event of a tie, the championship does not change hands. So Dar retains the Heritage Cup Championship in a great match with A-Kid. A great Heritage Cup match with A-Kid. Probably the best Noam Dar match that I have seen in quite some time. Really good match right here. And if this leads to a rematch down the line, I certainly don't mind it. I think that this would absolutely make for another match down the line because neither man technically lost. It ended in a draw. Really good stuff right here by both men. That was pretty much NXT UK. I do highly encourage everyone to go back and rewatch the Noam Dar A-Kid match. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. SmackDown. I hate the show. I really don't think that there was a single thing on this show that was worth watching. Really. The Usos kicked off the show, and they were talking about how Roman Reigns became the longest reigning Universal Champion, yada, yada, yada. Roman came out, and they replayed Roman's 1.5-year-long reign of dominance. Rollins then came out doing the typical dance. Oh, the typical dance by Rollins. The name change is fucking Seth freaking, it's so stupid. Seth freaking Rollins. Who talks like that? Hey, did you see Seth freaking Rollins compete against Roman Reigns at the premium live event, the annual WWE Royal Rumble, for the World Wrestling Entertainment Universal Championship? Fucking stupid. So Rollins proposed a challenge. If he beat the Usos, then they are banned from ringside, and he has to find a partner. And then Kevin Owens came out, pretty much saying, fuck the brand split. No, it's not Royal Rumble season. It's, we don't give a fuck about anything, so we're just going to invite Raw superstars from SmackDown, because clearly, the roster is depleted over there. That's pretty much it. So, Kevin Owens came out, fuck the brand split apparently. Roman says, all right, fine. If you lose tonight, then that means that your match at the Rumble is canceled and I'm going on a vacation until WrestleMania. And that was it. Not a bad stipulation, but that's pretty much it. Madcap Moss versus Sir Kofi Kingston. Kofi brought out Big E. Kofi Kingston wins. Who gives a shit? I didn't give a shit. I'm not sure anybody gives a shit. I don't give a shit. The New Day gimmick sucks. The New Day gimmick needs to die. The New Day gimmick needs to end. It's been going on for nearly 10 fucking years. End the New Day gimmick. End it. End it. Aaliyah versus Natalya. Natalya got herself disqualified, so she lost to Aaliyah via disqualification because she kept on pouring the aggression on Aaliyah, and the ref called for the 5 count. Natalya didn't lighten up. Xia Li then came out to help Aaliyah and sent Natalya packing. Same shit that we saw with Xia Li last month. I don't give a shit. I'm not sure who gives a shit. It was a waste of time. And to be quite honest with you, I'm surprised Xia Li is still employed with the company. The Viking Raiders versus Los Lotharios, a match that could have been decent, but they only gave it 4 minutes. And within this 4-minute match, it resulted in the Viking Raiders winning with the Viking experience. I actually thought the Viking Raiders were going to lose this, considering, hey, they're already the number one contenders. They're already the number one contenders, so at the end of the fucking day, they could take a loss, right? According to Vince McMahon, of course. Viking Raiders beat Los Lotharios. If I am booking this, and I said this before, more likely than not, I'm going to go on record and say that WWE is not going to do the right thing, and they're not going to do a unification match with the women's titles, they're not going to do a unification match with the tag team titles, and they're not going to do a unification match with the world titles. So if that's the case, I'm giving the titles to the Viking Raiders. I'm giving the titles to the Viking Raiders, and I am having the Viking Raiders hold those titles until SummerSlam. I am calling up Imperium, Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner, and I am doing Imperium versus the Viking Raiders for the SmackDown Tag Team titles at SummerSlam, and I am giving Imperium the Tag Team titles. Then I'm calling up Walter, not Gunther, whatever the fuck you want to call this fucking man's name. I'm calling up Walter. I am saying, ditch this fucking Gunther name, burn it in a fucking fire, and I'm putting Walter against Roman at SummerSlam, and Walter's winning the fucking Universal title. That's what I'm doing. Charlotte Flair versus Naomi. Charlotte Flair, I say fuck Charlotte Flair all the time. I don't really have the energy to do that right now. And that's only because of the fact that she was a very minuscule part to the show. She was on the show for what, like 6 minutes? 6 minutes out of 2 hours. There's really nothing worth complaining about. Charlotte was just there. She was just there on this show. The main story here was Sonya Deville and Naomi. I actually forgot that Charlotte Flair was a part of the match, to be quite honest with you. That's how insignificant Charlotte Flair is. So Sonya Deville came out and demanded that Charles Robinson take off his shirt. She put the referee shirt on. We've seen this shit before. Sonya Deville screws over Naomi, and Sonya Deville calls for the bell when Naomi was locked in the figure eight. Naomi never tapped. Same shit that we seen months ago. What is this leading to? What is this leading to? We've seen the same shit for months between Sonya and Naomi. Nothing is progressing. Unless this is resulting in Naomi winning the Rumble, which I would actually approve of, unless this is resulting in Naomi winning the Rumble and becoming champion at WrestleMania, this is for nothing. If Naomi doesn't win the Rumble, all of this will be worth nothing at the end of the day. Give Naomi the fucking Rumble win if you are going to constantly have Sonya Deville fuck her over. I don't care about this storyline anymore. This storyline is not entertaining or intriguing at all. Seriously, who gives a shit about this storyline? I don't. Sami Zayn, which, by the way, I'm not sure if you realize, Sami Zayn signed a new contract with the WWE, according to Fightful. Sami came out for In Zayn. He was testing self-defense weapons on himself. He tested out a shocker on his leg. He was limping, and then he did it on his heart. He hurt himself, but he was still doing what he normally does. Johnny Knoxville. Johnny fucking Knoxville came out. Knoxville then said, Sammy, this is legit, but you didn't turn it on. So Knoxville turned it on, zapped Zayn, and that was pretty much it. I hope that contract, Sammy, was worth it. I really do hope it was worth it, Sammy. I really do hope your dignity, your self-respect, and your credibility was worth it. I really, really, really do. Because you have become nothing more than an insignificant, glorified enhancement talent. Sami Zayn is no better than Reggie. He's no better than Reggie. I hope it was worth it, Zayn, as long as you're happy. As long as you're happy, bud. Eazy-E, Eric Bischoff, the corporate sellout, he approached Adam Pearce in the back to discuss leadership, and Adam Pearce booked Sonya Deville and Naomi in a match next week. I'm pretty sure Sonya Deville will find some way to get out of that bullshit. Sheamus versus Ricochet. Ridge Holland is back. This legitimately went 4 minutes, and Sheamus won with the bro kick. Who gives a shit? Next week, we got New Day versus Corbin and Moss, and Sonya Deville versus Naomi. We got Seth freaking Rollins, stupid, versus Kevin Owens, versus the Usos. This was a very good match, and the ending kind of made sense. Roman, he caused the disqualification. He caused the DQ in the end because of the simple fact that he knew that he could beat Rollins, right? He knows that he can beat Rollins, so you know what? I'm just going to give Rollins his match anyway, and I'm just going to say, fuck this, and I'm going to hand Rollins his ass at Royal Rumble. So that's pretty much it. Roman Reigns is not losing that title. Roman Reigns should not lose that title. If Roman Reigns is losing that title, I guarantee you right now, MJF will show up on Lisa's doorstep before Roman Reigns loses that championship to Seth Rollins. If Seth Rollins ends up winning the championship, it would be a huge, huge, huge mistake. Big mistake. That was SmackDown. No one gives a shit. I don't give a shit. WWE sucks horse meat cock. Once again, thank you everyone for joining me here, and we have one more show to go over. We're going to go over Rampage. If you want my thoughts on Dynamite, check the link in the description. I greatly appreciate Lisa and Rob and Earl Cole and Dee Dee, Peanuts, and everyone that stopped by the stream. Greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. You guys have been fantastic. A little bit of a quick LFU this week, but nevertheless, we are still rocking and rolling. It's still the best fucking show on YouTube every single fucking Saturday. That's for sure. So, Rampage. Rampage was a very good show. Rampage was live, which always makes things better. And listen, Rampage is not a bad show. Rampage is usually a very good show, even when it's taped. Rampage is usually a very good show, but it's so much better when live. And I said what they should do before. I said that it would be better if you want to do a Rampage, right? You want to do Rampage, you should do Rampage from 7 to 8. 7 to 8 on Friday. Whether it's taped or live, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock before SmackDown. That is the best route to go about it. That would make more people watch Rampage. Things would work out a lot better if you go with that. Trust me. Rampage should be from 7 to 8. But nevertheless, it was live, and it was a very good show. Show kicked off with Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley versus Ethan Page. Ethan Page actually told Scorpio Sky to go to the back. I like that. Ethan Page, hey, I can handle myself. Don't worry, I can handle myself. So Page was using his power early on. Moxley looked great. Moxley looked awesome. He looked very lean. He's got abs. He's looking rejuvenated. He's moving very well. He's moving a lot quicker. He doesn't look gassed. Good stuff. So Page was sent into the barricade by Moxley. Moxley tried to take over, and we saw Moxley having his knee targeted by Page. Coming back from commercial, Moxley with a German suplex barrage, a nice snap German suplex. They slapped each other. We had a boot from Page and a big lariat from Moxley. Ethan Page came back with some stiff strikes and a twisting brainbuster for a 2. A single leg Boston Crab by Ethan Page, but Moxley was able to get to the ropes. Moxley then hit a suicide dive. Both men were on the top. Ethan Page out of nowhere hits a big power slam from the middle rope for a 2. Moxley then with elbows and knees, and then Moxley locked in the Bulldog choke. And I love the fact that Page passed out. Page was protected in defeat. He did not get pinned. He did not submit. He passed out. Very good ending. Afterwards, Moxley gave Ethan Page a paradigm shift. Afterwards, he walked into the crowd. The camera followed him, and then out of nowhere, right behind him, Bryan Danielson was in the crowd waiting for him. And Bryan was clapping almost in a sarcastic way. I don't know about you, but Moxley and Bryan Danielson at Revolution, take my money. I am all for that. All for that. From that, we go into Nick Jackson versus Trent Beretta. This was supposed to be a tag team match with Roppongi Vice versus the Young Bucks, but it did not happen. It ended up being a singles match with Trent Beretta and Nick Jackson. Rocky Romero was not there, I believe, probably due to COVID. So this was absolutely the best match of the night. Great fucking match. Maybe the best match throughout the entire week, minus that mixed tag team match that we saw on Wednesday. This was a great fucking match. So Nick Jackson, he was using his speed early on. Nick Jackson tried to wear down Trent. We had a big PK to the back. Coming back from commercial, Nick Jackson with a senton. Trent then got the knees up. Trent with a big lariat, a big German suplex, big running knee for a 2. Trent then dodged the lariat and hit a spear on the floor. We had a big swinging DDT in the ring for a 2. We then had Nick Jackson with a big elbow and a slingshot Canadian destroyer. Looked great. That got a 2 count. We had a tornado kick by Nick, a big knee, elbow, and a bulldog. Trent with a beautiful half-and-half suplex. Nick Jackson hit a super kick. Trent hit a pile driver after he hit a lariat, but Nick still kicked out. Nick then back body dropped Trent on the ramp. He gave Trent a big swanton on the ramp into the ring. Nick Jackson with a 450 splash. Trent still kicked out. Fucking crazy. And then we had the Strong Zero. Strong Zero, and Trent wins it. Big win for Trent. Great fucking match. Very happy to see Trent back in the ring and winning big matches against Nick Jackson. Really, really, really good stuff right there. Best match of the night. Maybe even the best match of the week. Great fucking match. Trent does not get the appreciation that he should get. He does not. Trent Beretta is a great professional wrestler. Seriously. We got Serpentico taking on the legend known as Hook. Hook absolutely demolished Serpentico, and it was a joy to watch. Serpentico did not even finish his streamer act, and he was tangled in the fucking streamers, and fucking Hook was just ragdolling him around. He locked Serpentico in the Taz mission, and Serpentico immediately tapped out. QT Marshall then came out, and he was ragging on Hook, being a delinquent. Hook stared at him. He didn't even say a word. All he did was take QT Marshall and back body drop him, and all you hear is QT Marshall saying, oh God, no. I don't know about you, but I just found that fucking hilarious. QT Marshall, let me tell you something. QT Marshall is underrated as well. QT Marshall is a very good pro wrestler. And I do think that we could very well end up seeing Hook's best match in AEW today against QT Marshall. I think that's going to be great. So Hook dropped him on the ramp, and then he just walked away. I thought that was hilarious. Awesome stuff. Really, really, really awesome stuff. The main event, we got Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay. Jungle Boy's girl, Anna Jay. Jungle Boy's a lucky son of a bitch. This was for the TBS Championship. Listen, I shit on Jade Cargill for not being ready. That doesn't mean I'm not a fan of her. That doesn't mean that I do not see potential in her. She is going to be something special, but she's not there yet. But I will say this match, I really was not expecting anything from this match, but I gotta say, these two actually worked very well together. This was not a bad match at all. I didn't see an issue with this match. The only issue that was with this match was the fact that it was the main event. I understand that you want to make the TBS Championship important. You want to make everyone aware that you have a bright women's future with Anna Jay and Jade Cargill. I understand that. I understand about giving opportunities to new stars. I get it. But in this case, it would have been better to close with Jon Moxley, considering that Jon Moxley was the biggest talking point of the show. Moxley was the biggest talking point of the show because it was his in-ring return. And on top of that, Bryan Danielson teased a match with him at Revolution. That would have been the proper way to close. But outside of that, this was not a bad match at all. Anna Jay, she's coming along very nicely. The progression is there. You're really starting to see her grow. And I appreciate that. Jade Cargill, she's working. She's trying, she's training. She incorporated new moves into her moveset in this match, and I appreciate that. The match itself, not bad at all. It was not bad at all. It was clean. It was crisp. There were no botches. So at the end of the day, I can't complain about this match. But, however, I will say this. It's going to take a lot more than a decent match with Anna Jay to prove to me that Jade Cargill was the right woman to win the TBS Championship. It still should have been Ruby Soho. But this was not a bad start to Jade Cargill's TBS Women's title reign. Can Jade Cargill keep this up? I hope so. I want to see her keep it up. I want to see her succeed because she has a lot of upside. You can tell that she knows how to hit her moves correctly. She is not one to injure people. I'm going to point this out. A lot of people want to say that, oh, Jade Cargill is the next Nia Jax. I don't understand where. And I'm going to explain later on. The match itself was a decent match. Went 9 minutes, and these two worked well together. I don't know what it is, but on this night, both women, they brought it, and it was a decent match. So Cargill was using her power early on against Anna Jay. Anna tried to get a quick roll-up. Cargill then got in Silver's face. Anna Jay then hit Cargill with a big forearm right to the face. Coming back from commercial, Jade Cargill took over. She hit a very nice spine buster on Anna Jay. Jade Cargill has a nice spine buster. We had Jade with an overhead belly-to-belly. Really nice stuff right there. Anna Jay then fought back with some stiff strikes, a big lariat, and a thrust kick. Reverse STO. Looked very nice. That got a 2 count. Silver then took out Mark Sterling with a brainbuster. Jade Cargill hit a punt kick on Anna Jay. She went for Jaded, but Anna Jay reversed it very smoothly into the Queen Slayer. Really nice reversal there. Jade Cargill was locked in the Queen Slayer. Jade Cargill then powered out. She was going for a power slam, but Anna Jay, she pushed Jade Cargill away. Jade Cargill caught a spin kick from Anna Jay. She powered her up. Very nice power up. She showed a lot of strength. One-armed power bomb right to the mat, which looked awesome. And this is where the difference between Cargill and Nia Jax comes in. Cargill is not a reckless worker. Cargill is not a reckless worker. Her timing is not all there, but I'm guessing the reason why she kind of slows the pace down is because she does not want to hurt people, because she's aware that she's new and she wants to take it easy. Her character may be cocky, but she's new. She knows she's new. She's not going to act like she's been doing this for years. So she kind of slows the pace down and makes sure she does the moves right so she doesn't purposely hurt anyone. And that I can respect. Because what she did right here, she powered up Anna Jay, and she made sure that she dropped her when she was ready. She gave Anna Jay enough time to get ready, and she dropped Anna Jay on her back. Meanwhile, Nia Jax did a power slam on Dana Brooke, dropped Dana Brooke right on her fucking neck. You can see the difference. You can really see the difference, but that was a great one-armed powerbomb. Love that new move. I would love to see that going forward. Then she hit Jaded, and she won. She retained the TBS Championship. A solid match. Very solid match between the two, and I was very pleased with what I saw. Solid match between the two, and we inevitably had Jade Cargill retaining the TBS Championship. This was a decent start to her reign. I hope that she can keep it up. I hope that shit continues. If she keeps it up, then whoever's going to take that title off of her is going to end up better off for it. Not bad. Not bad at all. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Moody just joined. I'm sorry to tell you, Matt, but you just missed the entire stream. I just finished up the entire stream. But thank you very much, everyone, for joining me here on the LFU. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the links in the description. We got the rundown for the Royal Rumble tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time with Mr. Earl Cole. It's going to be damn good. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you for stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, check out all the links in the description. Lots of good stuff coming up. I will message a couple people after the stream. Ladies and gents, I'm DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update. I'll catch you tomorrow for the rundown. I hope you guys have an awesome, awesome day. Peace!